Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really wild story about how an accidental budget hit actually forced Apple to build an absolute powerhouse of a laptop. We are talking about the upcoming MacBook Neo 2, and let me tell you, the specs we're seeing on this machine are probably going to change the entry-level market forever.
So let's dive into this fascinating question that has completely flipped Apple's usual premium playbook totally upside down this year. I mean, when we hear the word premium, we immediately think expensive, right? And Apple is usually the first brand that comes to mind. For decades, their top-tier stuff has been pretty much out of reach for a big chunk of the market. But what happens when they accidentally make their absolute cheapest product, well, a little too good?
Section 1. The unexpected budget hit.
To really understand this, we have to rewind just a few months ago when Apple did something completely unheard of. They launched the original MacBook Neo at a literally shocking price point of just $599. And guess what? The market demand absolutely exploded. It blew past all of their expectations, and Apple suddenly found themselves scrambling to rethink their entire strategy for their most affordable laptop.
Now, how on earth did they actually achieve that super aggressive $599 price tag? Two words: binned chips. Instead of spending millions developing a brand new processor from scratch, Apple smartly recycled A18 Pro chips. These were originally meant for the flagship iPhone 16 Pro, but because they had some minor graphics core defects and couldn't be used in the premium phones, they got a second life inside a laptop chassis. What started as a clever way to recycle hardware ended up evolving into something so much bigger. Because man, this clever recycling trick created a machine that delivered performance way beyond its entry-level price point. It was so capable, it actually started outperforming the aging M1 MacBook Air in several tasks. But as you know with the tech world, massive unexpected success usually creates entirely new problems.
Section 2. A supply chain problem. So here is where the massive bottleneck comes in. TSMC's advanced manufacturing lines, they are totally slammed, producing Apple's latest 3nm and upcoming 2nm chips. Those are high-priority lines strictly reserved for the super premium iPhones and the M-series Mac chips. So tying up manufacturing capacity to pump out huge high-demand volumes of the older A18 Pro silicon just for a budget laptop, it simply doesn't make economic sense anymore. It's a massive supply chain clash.
Section 3. The A19 processor upgrade.
Here's the crucial twist. That exact supply chain chaos has reportedly forced Apple's hand, making them accelerate their entire roadmap. According to new supply chain leaks, they are now gearing up to launch the Neo 2 equipped with the latest binned version of the A19 processor. Why? Honestly, just because it's what is currently available on the active production lines. This shift alone is going to bring massive efficiency and performance gains to the Neo 2. Talk about a happy accident.
Section 4. Memory and storage boosts. But wait, the processor jump isn't even the biggest surprise here. The real story is all about the memory. The first generation Neo launched with 8GB of unified memory. And yeah, Apple's memory management is famously good, but modern workloads were honestly starting to make that original machine sweat. So to fix this, Apple's making a whopping 50% baseline jump. Supply chain reports indicate the Neo 2 will feature 12GB of unified memory as the brand new standard.
This is a total game changer for how this entry-level machine handles your daily stuff. That 12GB standard means buttery-smooth multitasking, and crucially, it clears the runway for significantly improved local AI processing. For a laptop targeting the entry-level market, providing the overhead needed to actually run Apple Intelligence well, that is an incredibly aggressive move.
When we stack these two generations up side by side, the upgrades are just staggering. Leaks are pointing to the Neo 2 getting the A19 processor, that massive memory bump to 12 gigs, and even faster SSD storage. There's even serious chatter about a jump to a massive 512 gigabytes for the base storage model. It is shaping up to offer so much more value than the first one.
Section 5. Arriving sooner than expected.
So with this new machine keeping its premium design, keeping that strong battery life, and gaining all of this next-level power, you're probably wondering, when can we actually buy it? Well, because of that huge supply chain bottleneck we talked about, reports suggest Apple is actually moving production way ahead of schedule. We could potentially see this launch before the end of this year. Yes, this year.
And let's put this into perspective really quick. Arriving before the end of the year, and if you factor in the usual student discount offers, this absolute powerhouse is going to be cheaper and arguably more powerful than most premium Windows laptops on the market right now. It is going to seriously raise the bar for budget laptops across the board.
Which leaves us with one really provocative thought to wrap up this explainer. Apple built the Neo 2 to solve an accidental supply chain problem, right? But by making this budget laptop so incredibly good, out of pure necessity, is Apple about to cannibalize their own premium market? I mean, really think about it. If the baseline is this powerful,